Well, the reason why I say that with national health care is that for stimulus, you want to be able to look to somewhere you could spend a lot of money quickly. And healthcare has the advantage that it's a huge, huge sector. It's a 2.4 trillion. It's about 17% of the economy. So you could reasonably look to expand that, and you could look to expand it relatively quickly. And the way I proposed doing that was an employer tax credit where we have somewhere around 30, 40 million workers that don't get employer-provided health insurance. So if we gave employers a tax credit of, let's say, $3,000 a worker to give those workers health care coverage, then my guess is an awful lot of them would do that. And what that would fairly quickly do is, on the one hand, it would employ people in the insurance industry, not something I'm anxious to do, but as a stopgap, that's a good thing to do. It would give people health care, employing them in the healthcare sector. And to some extent, of course, these people, even if they don't have insurance, are paying it out of pocket. So what that would mean is they will pay much less out of pocket. They'll have more money to spend. And these tend to be more moderate income people, so they are likely to spend it. So I thought that could give a good boost to the economy. Now, to actually transform healthcare, we have to go further. I want to see us have a public plan that people could buy into. But the idea would be, let's take advantage of the fact that we actually just need to create demand. So in a certain sense, we don't mind the waste. Waste right now is fine. But what we could do is, one, give people coverage to at the word go, and then say 2011, 2012, presumably we'd have a national health care plan ramped up that people could buy into if they chose, and then we'd have a mechanism in place that could start to control cost. So I think that would be a very good way to look to do something short-term, boost the economy, and really jumpstart us towards national health care insurance, which has to be top priority on anyone's, to my mind, on anyone's agenda right now. The other sort of, to my mind, good way to do stimulus is big stimulus, I should say, is what I've called a pay-or-play tax credit, pay-for-play, I should say, which would give employers a tax credit for providing workers with paid time off. So the way it would work is we pick a sum of money, let's say $2,500 per worker, and we tell employers that we'll pay them to offset any amount of paid time off that they give their workers up to $2,500 a year. And the paid time off could take the form of paid sick days, paid parental leave, paid vacations, shortening the standard work week. And what that would do is, on the one hand, it would directly get money into workers' pockets, but more importantly, at least in my view, more importantly, that we're giving a benefit that people are likely to value. We're way behind the rest of the world, by the way, in this front. Everywhere else, if you look to Germany, Britain, any country you pick, they all have paid sick leaves, paid vacation, paid parental leave. We're really the outlier that way. So it jumpstart us that way. But in terms of the economy, the stimulus to the economy, let's say we got employers of 100 million workers to take advantage of this, and they shorten the work time of their workers an average of 5%. Well, they're seeing just as much demand as they did previously, because the workers have just as much money in their pocket as they did previously, but they get 5% fewer hours. In principle, what they're going to want to do is hire 5% more workers. That translates into 5 million jobs. So the nice part of this story, instead of 5 million people being unemployed, we have 105 million people now employed, and they're all working so much shorter hours and taking this instead of unemployment as leisure time, as paid vacations, paid parental leave, whatever it might be. So I think that's a very good way to deal with sort of this basic problem. We don't have enough demand in the economy at the moment. One, we do want to increase demand, but two, why not just let everyone work shorter hours?